So the next step, let's assume now it's the 3 months has passed. You've gotten your approval for your PLLC. The first thing to do, immediate step, you can do it yourself. If you have an accountant that you want to pay to do it, you could do that. Maybe your lawyer will do it for you, but you've got to get your tax ID number. So the tax ID number can very simply be received by going to the IRS website, look for Form SS4. You complete all the requested information. What kind of entity you have to. At this point, you have to know how you want to be taxed and so forth. Let's just say, for simplicity's sake, that that it's a group practice of two providers. So it's two provider practice. You're going to apply for a tax ID number for a partnership. Is or maybe it's an S corporation, however you've chosen to be taxed. So let's say that you go through that process once you know what it's going to be for sure, and you can get your tax ID number, almost immediately in most cases. One of the most important documents that you'll get once you get this tax ID number is a form called Form CP 575. And that form basically tells you this is your your tax ID number for this entity. So, once you have that, that's what you're going to report your income on from your business, your practice, and you'll use that for all, payroll tax considerations, et cetera, when you're, paying employees and so forth. So highly recommend that you save that CP 575, electronically. You back it up and save it. Make sure that you have it saved. I would take copies of that original and save multiple copies of that. You will need to, provide copies of that when it comes time to do the actual credentialing of your practice. So now you've got your tax ID number. You've saved your CP 575. The very next step is to hopefully you've determined which bank that you want to do business with. And, some are better than others. One of the considerations in the banking end is even with a lot of payments coming electronic funds transfer now, and, patient payments coming via credit card, depending on the size and the type of practice that you have. Let's say that you have a high workers' comp and no fault practice, a high percentage of no fault to workers' comp practice. You're going to be getting payments from all over the place. In that case, you want to have lockbox functionality. What's a lockbox? Basically, a lockbox is a PO box. It's your address where all the payments are going to go to, all the payments that are not EFT. So you want to do electronic funds transfer, EFTs, for everybody that you can. That makes the most sense. Usually the cleanest way to do it. That's typically what you want to do. So with your consideration of your bank, once you've decided on this bank, then what you're going to need to do is you need to go open a checking account, business checking account. And then since it takes, a couple weeks to get your checks, one of the things that you'll need on all your applications for credentialing is they want a voided check, or they want a letter on the bank's letterhead from a bank BP that basically states, here is the name of the practice. These are the owners of the practice. Here is the ABA number, which is the routing number. And here is the account number for the practice. So that letter can be used in lieu of a voided check. Those starter checks are no good. So the starter checks that don't have your name and address of the practice emblazoned on the check, those don't work. You can't use that. So it's either a check with all that information, a voided check with all that information, or you need that bank letter as we just discussed.